Thank you. Today we're going to talk about data ethics. More than ever, companies have at their disposal a huge amount of data, but the first question is always, what can we do with it? During this 10 minutes keynote speech, I will explain why I'm convinced that the main question is instead, what should we do with it? Artificial intelligence, involving using computers to classify, analyze, and draw prediction from data sets, called algorithms, are trained using large data sets to identify patterns, make predictions, recommend actions, and learn from new data. The ability of an AI system to improve automatically through experience is known as machine learning, as some of you might know. Well, companies are more and more leveraging data and artificial intelligence to create scalable solutions related to every aspect of our personal lives. But they're also scaling their reputational, regulatory, and legal risks. Good examples, as we see here, are disruptive effects of artificial intelligence in our society. They're truly fundamentally changing the world regarding children, gender equality, education, and humanity in different aspects. For children, as an example, we don't know yet clearly what the effect is of AI on children. They're already interacting with it via their games, via their video chats, via their computers, but we are not quite convinced or know yet what that kind of implication will have for the long term. AI, as an example, it recommends children what to look at, what to read, which music to listen to, and with who to become friends. So it has a huge impact on children. On the other hand, it's also for the best of education. But as we saw during the COVID-19 crisis, people who don't have that access to internet were excluded. The same will be for AI. So therefore, we need to ensure that AI is open across all people and that they can benefit from it within a responsible, ethical, and fair uses. Gender equality, another topic. You hear a lot about bias in algorithms impacting gender. Luckily, the society has become more and more aware of this. And the implications for AI for girls, women, and gender non-binary people is now clearly addressed. Systems should not used in ways which is promoting equity and not in ways that discriminate against any group. Another challenge with AI is, for example, the automatic decision making, which can impact very much people of low income. They can find themselves excluded, such in jobs or education and housing, due to the automated decision-making systems, digital profiling, predictive analytics, and various artificial intelligence tools. Decision-making systems need to be visible. They are very often in the background, black boxes, and we can't see what it is. They operate invisibly. Customers turn to us for advice that they can trust about financial decisions, which have big consequences to their futures. Keeping that trust is the very foundation of our relationship with our customers and stakeholders. But customers do not only trust their money to us in good hands, but also their data is in good hands with us. We have to also take that in responsibility very seriously. And data, AI, and analytics, we collect, store, analyze, and use enormous amount of data. This provides us unprecedented new possibilities, but also shade new lights on our customer trust. And are we doing what is morally right? On the end, organizations stand and fall with trust. We must be transparent and accountable for how we process the data of our citizens, children, customers, employees, and any other stakeholder involved in automatic decision making. The big picture is that data ethics is about the view of our stakeholders and doing the right thing. It's not only about how we perceive it, it's very much about how the people, our consumers, our stakeholders are perceiving this. Ethical behavior is not by definition clearly defined. It is something which is different to everyone. And data ethics is talking about that and taking into account the view of our stakeholders and doing the right thing. This sometimes even means that if it is legally permitted, but it does not match with our values and guidelines, we should not pursue it. Data ethics is about your culture, behavior, and the way you're making your decisions. Data are key to our strategy to better serve our customers. We enhance and develop our analytical skills and are aware of the ethical implications of handling data. It is all about customer trust, reputational, regulatory, and legal risks. And to safeguard the trust of our customers in ING, it is vital that data ethics values are embedded in our culture, behavior, and decision-making process. Luckily at ING, we have the Orange Code. It is the core of our ING culture. We refer to it very often. And it details out our values and behaviors expected from all our staff. Regarding data ethics, we have defined 3 important points there. We are honest about the use of the data. This means we inform our customers about the use of the data. We're also prudent with using data. We respect the privacy and autonomy of customers. And we balance the right and interest of all our stakeholders. And we are responsible when using data. We're mindful that processing data can impact the lives of others and business. And therefore, we need to take this in consideration in our decision making. We developed at ING the so-called ING Orange Code Dilemma Dialogue Model. It's a decision-making model developed on the basis of the Orange Code. And the goal of this decision-making model is to support employees in properly balancing the right and interest of all stakeholders in a consistent way. The Orange Code Dilemma Dialogues makes it possible to jointly analyze the dilemma in order to increase the quality of decision-making and to share lessons with regard to recurrent dilemmas. As an example, what is your dilemma? That's the starting point. Who are the people you need to involve in your dialogue? Who's facing that dilemma? Do we have enough diversity around us to have the appropriate views? Information and stakeholders. Do we really have all the information to decide on? Are there any regulatory expectations? And once again, who's impacted by that decision? We need to balance the rights and interests, the pros and the cons. Rights outweigh interests. We need to filter out facts and excuses and do damage control where possible. And at last, always take and document the decision. And ask yourself, can I explain this decision? And give the necessary follow-up. Well, coming more or less to the end, if you had 3 things to remember, trust of your customers is how you use their data. Transparency in what you do with data is key, more and more. It's about your culture and behavior. Ask yourself, is this what we want to do? Implement a data ethics framework and governance model to support dilemmas in your organization and make transparent decisions. So I truly hope that you will take this in every possibility and opportunity that is there, with data as ingredient and AI as the kitchen where we discover new recipes and models. But make a conscious choice between arguments and facts to decide and earn the trust of the individual customer, society, regulation, and all involved parties. I would say, do your thing, do the right thing that is closest to your company culture, values, and principle. Thank you all for listening, and wish you a great summit.